This lesson contains general radar phraseology which is commonly used in communications between aircraft and all types of radar units. Phraseology which is more applicable to approach radar control or area radar control can be found on OAT Media's IFR RT Communications CD-ROM. The phrase under radar control is only used when a radar control service is being provided. Normally, however, the call sign suffix used by the radar unit is sufficient to indicate its function. In a radar environment, heading information given by the pilot and heading instructions given by controllers are in degrees magnetic. Radar vectors may be given to establish the identification of an aircraft. Other means of radar identification are the use of position report information, requesting the aircraft to make turns, the use of bearing and distance information from a prominent object or radio aid, and the use of SSR.
Golf India Kilo. Report your heading and level.
Heading 110 at 2,500 feet. Golf India Kilo.
Golf India Kilo. For identification, turn left. Heading 080.
Left heading 080. Golf India Kilo.
Golf India Kilo. Identified 20 miles northwest of Kennington. Continue present heading.
Golf India Kilo.
Whenever you're receiving a radar service, you should always remember that radar can fail, and that you may be too far away, too close or too low for the controller to see you. In any event, the controller will always tell you if identification is lost or about to be lost, and will give you appropriate instructions. The following transmissions are examples of the sorts of calls you may hear when a radar controller can no longer maintain adequate radar contact.
Golf India Kilo. Not identified. Not yet within radar cover. Resume own navigation to Marlow.
Golf India Kilo.
Golf India Kilo. Radar identification lost due radar failure. Contact Alexander Control 128.750.
128.750. Golf India Kilo.
Golf India Kilo. Will shortly lose radar identification as you are entering my radar overhead. Remain this frequency.
Golf India Kilo.
Whenever possible, information regarding traffic on a conflicting path will be given in the following form. Relative bearing of the conflicting traffic in terms of the 12-hour clock. Distance from the conflicting traffic. Direction of flight of the conflicting traffic. Level and type of aircraft or, if known, relative speed of the conflicting traffic. In other words, if it's slow or fast. Relative movement will be described by using these terms either singly or in combination, to give as clear a picture as possible of the situation. Click on each word or phrase to see an explanation. Closing means the range of the contact from you is decreasing. Converging means that the track of the contact lies between 3 and 9 o'clock and is converging with yours. Diverging means that the track of the contact lies between 3 and 9 o'clock and is diverging with yours. Parallel, same direction, means that the track of the contact is parallel with yours in the same direction. Parallel, opposite direction means that the track of the contact is parallel with yours in the opposite direction. Overtaking means that the contact is travelling faster than you in the same or similar direction. Crossing left to right, or right to left, means that the track of the contact will cross yours in the direction indicated. The following examples will illustrate some of these terms. If a contact is described as closing, it means that its range from you is decreasing. It does not necessarily mean that there is a collision risk.
Golf Juliet Mike, unknown traffic, 1 o'clock, 3 miles, closing. Fast moving.
Golf Juliet Mike, looking. Golf Juliet Mike, traffic in sight, now past clear.
Depending on the circumstances, if you cannot see the contact, vectors may be offered by the controller or requested by the pilot. The controller should inform the pilot when the conflict no longer exists. The terms diverging and converging are normally used when the contact lies between 3 and 9 o'clock, that is, behind you.
Golf Juliet Mike, unknown traffic, 4 o'clock, 2 miles, right to left, converging.
Golf Juliet Mike, negative contact, request vectors.
Golf Juliet Mike, turn right onto 360.
Right onto 360. Golf Juliet Mike.
Golf Juliet Mike, clear of traffic, resume own navigation.
Wilco, Golf Juliet Mike.
Avoiding action to be taken by the pilot is given when the controller considers that an imminent risk of collision would exist if action is not taken immediately.
Golf Oscar Kilo, turn right immediately, heading 310 to avoid traffic, 12 o'clock, 4 miles.
Right heading 310, Golf Oscar Kilo.
Golf Oscar Kilo, now clear of traffic. Resume own navigation direct Wicken.
Direct Wicken, Golf Oscar Kilo.
Your transponder is a transmitter-receiver which transmits a signal in response to radar interrogation by a ground radar station. The transponder's transmission enables air traffic control to positively identify the aircraft by displaying the transponder code and other information alongside the primary radar blip. On Alpha and Charlie capable transponders, the pilot selects a 4-figure code allocated by air traffic control. If a pilot is not communicating with an air traffic control unit, or if air traffic control does not wish to allocate a discrete transponder code, certain national civil aviation authorities publish a standard conspicuity code which the pilot may select on his transponder so that an enhanced radar return from the aircraft is visible on the controller's screen, with Alpha or Charlie type information, even though no discrete code has been allocated to the aircraft in question. We emphasize that different countries have different rules about so-called conspicuity codes. As an example, in the United Kingdom, the published conspicuity code is 7000. The air-to-ground system of which the transponder constitutes the airborne element is known as Secondary Surveillance Radar, or SSR. The phrases that you see on screen now may be used by air traffic controllers when passing instructions to pilots regarding the operation of SSR transponders. Click on each phrase to reveal an explanation of its meaning. When you've completed the list, click on the Continue button.
Golf Charlie Delta, Squawk 3473.
The controller is instructing you to set the code 3473 on your transponder and to select mode Alpha. Notice that before setting the code, the pilot switches the transponder to standby. Once the code is set, he switches the transponder back to on. The on switch puts the transponder into mode Alpha, that is, the standard operating mode for aircraft identification, where no altitude information is transmitted to the ground station.
Squawking 3473, Golf Charlie Delta.
Golf Charlie Delta, confirm squawk.
Squawking 3473, mode Alpha, Golf Charlie Delta.
In response to the instruction Confirm Squawk, the pilot confirms the code and mode which are set on his transponder.
Golf Charlie Delta, reset 3473.
This is normally requested by the radar controller when the correct squawk does not appear on the radar screen. Resetting 3473, Golf Charlie Delta.
Golf Charlie Delta, squawk ident.
When requested by air traffic control to squawk ident, press the ident button once and release it. There is no need to keep the button pressed. Pressing the ident button causes a pulse, called the Special Position Identification Pulse, to be transmitted. This pulse transmits automatically for about 20 seconds, producing a distinctive display on the controller's radar screen, so that the controller can easily pick out the aircraft's squawking ident from among the other traces on his screen. If you have an emergency in the air which necessitates a mayday call, you should squawk the emergency code of 7700. However, in the heat of the moment, you may forget, in which case the controller will remind you.
Golf Charlie Delta, squawk Mayday. Golf Charlie Delta, squawk Standby.
You may be asked to squawk standby when the controller no longer wishes to observe your squawk. In this case, if the controller wishes you to suspend your transponder's operation temporarily, he will instruct you to squawk standby. In this case, you move your switch to the position marked by the letter SBY, signifying standby.
Golf Charlie Delta, squawk Charlie.
If your transponder is equipped with mode Charlie, that is, the mode which transmits altitude information, and an air traffic controller wishes to receive information on your altitude or level, he will instruct you to squawk Charlie. In this case, you move the switch of your transponder from on to the position ALT, signifying altitude.
Golf Charlie Delta, check altimeter setting and confirm level.
You will be asked to check your altitude and confirm your squawk if the controller is, for any reason, unhappy about the readout he's receiving.
1013 set, flight level 60, Golf Charlie Delta.
Following on from the previous example, if the controller is not happy with the altitude indication from your aircraft, he will ask you to stop squawking mode Charlie.
Golf Charlie Delta, stop squawk Charlie, wrong indication. Golf Charlie Delta, confirm level.
This is another way in which the controller may check on the accuracy of his information.
Flight level 60, Golf Charlie Delta.
Over the next few years, it's planned to introduce secondary surveillance radar Mode Sierra. Mode Sierra stands for Selective Addressing. Mode Sierra is being introduced to overcome the limitations of the current modes Alpha and Charlie. At present, secondary surveillance radar stations interrogate all aircraft within their range. Mode Sierra, on the other hand, will establish selective and addressed interrogation with aircraft within its coverage. Such selective interrogation will improve the quality and integrity of detection, identification, and altitude reporting. These improvements will hopefully translate into enhanced safety, capacity, and efficiency in order to cope with the high traffic density airspace of Europe. For aircraft flying VFR in designated airspace across Europe, current intentions are that such aircraft will be required to carry and operate Mode Sierra airborne equipment within the following transition period. By the 31st of March 2005 for new production aircraft, by the 31st of March 2008 for the retrofitting of currently registered aircraft.
Golf Charlie Delta, reset Mode S identification.
The aircraft identification feature in Mode Sierra transponders enables the controller to identify individual aircraft directly on his radar screen. Mode Sierra transponder capability will, therefore, eventually eliminate the need for pilots to set discrete codes on their transponder, on instruction from a controller, in order that the aircraft may be individually identified, When a controller wishes a pilot to reselect the Mode Sierra identification feature, he will instruct the pilot to reset Mode Sierra identification. The following examples give you an idea of the sorts of RT calls you're likely to hear regarding the operation of the transponder. The reply to SSR instructions from the controller is usually either an acknowledgement or a readback.
Golf Charlie Delta, advise transponder capability.
Transponder Charlie, Golf Charlie Delta.
Golf India Kilo, squawk 6 4 1 1.
Squawking 6411, Golf India Kilo.
Oxbow 345, confirm squawk.
Squawking 5312, Oxbow 345.
Oxbow 342, reset squawk 4213.
Resetting 4213, Oxbow 342.
Oxbow 348, check altimeter setting and confirm level.
Altimeter 1013, flight level 330, Oxbow 348.
Golf Juliet Mike, confirm transponder operating.
Transponder inoperative, Golf Juliet Mike.